The Have a Word podcast with me, Dan Nightingale, and...
All right, Lids!
Oh, Jesus Christ. And it's Vittorio Angelone.
Hello.
Is that your scouse? Is that what? All right, lads. You sounded a bit more Mancunian, actually. All right, lads.
Are you going to disagree with me about how I'm doing someone else's accent after the number of times you've cunted my accent up the wall?
Yeah, of course, but you've got your accent. Of course I'm going to cunt you because you sound very you. You know what I mean? I know it's white on white racism, but you have a very strong, specific accent that has been very fun to do over the last few years. And I don't mean it with any disrespect, says a man that's opening his tour in Belfast on September 3rd. Hi, everyone, you're right. 4th, sorry. I'm very aware of that as an opening tour bit. Be like, hello, I'm a friend of Vittorio, he's here. But
that'll win over half of the audience.
Northern Irish is just too high. It's too difficult not to do. A little bad. How bad is mine? Is mine bad?
It's pretty bad. Like, it's not great. And it's funny you saying I have a
It's not great, but it's not fucking terrible.
Yes, as I've heard much worse. I've heard much worse on stage in the West End in plays.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
what play was that? Oh,
The Ferryman.
The Ferryman. I love it. What are you going to see tonight, Vittorio? The Ferryman, like I do every night. It's my culture.
Did I ever tell you the best thing I ever saw in a play related to Northern Ireland vaguely?
Yeah, you did. All right. Anyway, so thanks for listening. No, go on. Do you really, as a Northern Irish guy living in London, go, fuck, I can't wait to see Northern Irish plays at the West End?
Oh, I've learned my lesson, basically.
I miss my mommy, but I love theatre. I miss my Marna, but I've got culture and theatre. I got the West End.
But you just hear English actors going, all right, ma, how's it going? And you're like, no, what?
Wow.
That's fucking terrible.
That is actually a play about a Geordie car crash. Hello, man. I got a brain injury. Like, I fucking crashed the food court Tina and our wall. Well, I'm going to try. This is what I'm going to promise.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can stand by this. Rest of the episode, no shit Belfast.
No, do it, because I'll do all sorts of accents.
Right, okay,
This story,
cool.
I'll do an Indian accent in this story. That play that I went to see, it's about the Indian Revolution. And it was about the more aggressive side of it than Gandhi. But there was a guy playing Gandhi in the play. I mean, full kit Gandhi.
He Gandhied up. He browned up.
Was he brown?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Just checking. I don't know how long ago you went to watch it.
No, but was he...
What, 100 years?
Do you know how mental it is that Vittorio being here instead of Adam felt less unusual than Finn just being able to talk into a microphone? How absolutely absurd that just felt. And he delivered it so nice. He's got such a good speaking voice, and he came in and it was well timed, producer-like. But it still freaked me out.
Last night at my gig, someone came up to me after the show and was like, do you do radio? And I was like, no. And they were like, why do you talk like that then?
What?
They said, when you do your bits, you sound like you're reading the news.
Really?
Oh,
Apparently,
wooden. You're very wooden.
I'm doing bits like, and then I said this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, no. You're
I
not
don't think
that
I
bad.
do that.
You do sound like a joke teller when you do your bits.
Yes.
You have a format. I watched you last week at New Bits in Liverpool where you were fucking brilliant. And weird because we both had the thing around. We've never watched each other do stand-up.
Ever.
You said that to me. You were like, I've never seen you do stand-up. And I was like, I've never seen you do stand-up. And I've booked you for a lot of gigs on my tour. I've booked Vittorio just solely off the fact that I've seen loads of his videos doing stand-up and they're fucking brilliant. You've been on here in virtually every form of you've been a guest, you're now a co-host and everything. And also I like hanging out with you. But there was a weird moment of imagine if he walks up and he's just absolutely dog shit live. You were fucking great.
That's
but
good.
you do have, I have a very performative storytelling conversational style with caricatures and whatever. Yours is I watched yours and it's a more like an American influenced.
Yeah.
Not not full Jerry Seinfeld or whatever, but like a more like it feels like even though you're telling it as an observation or a story, it feels like a joke. So maybe that's what they mean.
And I'm trying to get that out of my stand-up because on some level, I don't like when my stand-up sounds like stand-up, or like you can see the cogs moving and like, you know, that's the setup, that's the punchline. Because I like those Irish comedians where it's just a fog of madness.
Jason Byrne, Tommy Tiernan.
Yeah, when Tommy Tiernan's on stage, it's just a man losing his shit.
I have to admit, they're the guys that, right from the off when I got in stand-up, they're the guys that I was like, I don't know. Like, I want to sit there going, I don't know what I'm watching. It's a little bit magic. I love that. But there is also something beautiful about the control of like, there's no fat on the jokes.
Yeah.
They're well delivered. I'm getting like, two of my favorite American comics at the moment are Chris DiStefano, who is just a ball of energy, and he's like, it's like he's never said anything before. It's like every bit of material. It's like everything he says is new material, except that like that 9/11 story that obviously went viral is one of the best bits of stand-up ever because it's obviously so pertinent to New Yorkers, and it was on the anniversary of 9/11, and his mum was in Tower 2 or whatever, and he's lived it, and he's smashed a fucking chair over some kid's head at a Catholic college that he's at, and then his dad, who is a Tony Balls with a Z, is a gangster and comes in to talk to the priest to say, don't expel my son. You're watching the thing going, this is one of the most compelling, funny stories. And then also, Chrissy D's got this weird ADHD style where he gets bored of his own story while he's doing it. But you watch it going, I don't know if you've ever told this story before or if this is just your style, and this is one of the most practiced stories you've got, but your style is, like you were saying, like mayhem.
Yes.
And then I also been watching Mark Normand, who is a real joke teller. Like everything feels like it's like in the format of the I tell you what I noticed, and then I did this
comedy,
and I think it's all quite appealing.
Yeah,
but I know which one I can only be one of those. I can only be the Chrissy D. I just haven't got the control to do the other.
I think I'm trying to do the one that I'm not necessarily naturally inclined to, because when there's a bit of smoke and it just sounds like ranting, I think the punchlines can hit better, because once you get into the rhythm of a joke, the audience is like, oh, da 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 da, and they kind of see it. But whereas when it's just and when Chrissy D just hits you with like a line and a line and it just sounds like a story, but all the writing's there, all the jokes are in there. All the jokes always have to be in there.
They're just they're not quite as clearly like labeled joke, are they?
Yeah.
Like, you watch the real joke tellers, you start getting their rhythm, and a crowd starts going, I know where the punchline will be. Yeah. And I remember being in New Zealand at the comedy festival, and over there they really like to know when you think the punchline is.
Oh, I hate
that. It's like, I'm not slagging off the Kiwi crowds, but I was like, I had stories that were bits that were like observations within a performance, like, and they didn't have like. In the end, I just want you to go, "Fuck, that's funny." Like I didn't know exactly where the punchline was. I just developed these bits. Some of them were just funny for the sake of the like the funny. And Kiwi crowds like, I'm not sure what you just did there. Like they weren't sure where it was. And then there's guys like Mark Norman, Jerry Seinfeld, or any like Gary Delaney's doing proper jokes, but the guys who it looks like a conversational, observational delivery, but it had crowds really like the rhythm of like, oh, now we know. And then there's the other side of that where I think it becomes a bit too formulaic. I've slagged him off on here before. I'm sure he's a nice man, but Andy Parsons, it's too much, man.
Yeah. I fucking and you fucking and you fucking
and you're like, oh my god! It's every joke starts with a
I fucking think of he and then he and then he and then he.
And the crowd like, once they hear it, they're like, that's the punchline. You could honestly have never learned a foreign person who's never learned any English without even having other audience members around and could work out when the end of Andy Parsons, where the laugh is. Cause
oh, brilliant.